you know, PvP.
There we go. There we go. Mate.
There we go. And speaking of reveal, here we are on Oxide LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Protoss player, he is going to be coming down from the land of China, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. He is not Azure, but Cyan.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner as Yakuzaku does check his mic boost settings just in case for Windows. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue. He is representing himself. The hell, as well as the Haitian Republic. It is Haas.
Haitian?
Haitian.
Haitian.
There we go.
That's what it is. And Cyan has been doing this pretty consistently.
yeah, pretty much. Like, again, they do kind of compete in the same DreamHack region, and oh my god, he even stole the gas.
Mate.
He
knows he knows that you're casting.
Oh, he knows.
He's done this a couple of times throughout the tournament today, hasn't he?
Yeah, consistently. And I mean, again, you know, Cyan, he's a connoisseur of my stream, and he knows what's up. He knows what he needs to do.
Does he?
I mean, he's won so far.
All right. Really, might as well. Which I suppose might be more than we can really say for Haas here.
That's the thing. Like Haas, like he used to be like legitimately one of the best foreigners. Like he qualified for BlizzCon in the past as well. To much dismay by a lot of people, but
yeah, for the longest time he was the very much undisputed top player from Taiwan. But times have definitely changed a lot. I think Nice has pretty steadily overtaken him in that regard.
Yeah.
I would say Rex normally, but just today, I mean, he has taken out Rex in this tournament.
Yeah, exactly. So Haas Haas is still top 2, but as you said, there was a point where he was solidly the king of the region, and that title has been stripped away from him. It's a bit of a shame. You know, we want to see that Haas of old, and we don't see it too much nowadays. You know, he used to be all about that cheese. Now he actually macros. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Unfortunate. He has been doing some Mac economic cheese though in recent times.
True.
One game that I will never forget was actually at IEM very recently, where oh Christ, I don't remember what the opening was, but he made, I believe it was Dream he was up against, just convinced him that he was going to do an all-in very, very early on. Dream hyper turtle up, and then House just went for 4 bases. Immediately.
Yeah. I think there was a meme going around where Haas had like over 100 probes or something, as well, where he just hyper macroed. Yeah, just something that you wouldn't really expect from Haas, which is really cool, right? He's the player.
Evolving.
Yeah, he's evolving. Always doing something unexpected, like losing and coming second.
Yeah. Wait, is that too unexpected though?
I guess not nowadays.
I feel like he's too much of a wild card. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But oh god, we'll see. We'll see if he can bring it back here in this PvP. It's gonna be a long one, mate. It's our first best of 5 of the evening.
Oh boy, honestly, I can't tell which semifinals is gonna end sooner. This PvP or Ragnarok's Impatience, which Ragnarok and versus Patience, I'm surprised we haven't seen too much of that in the past. That is a PvZ of the big brains.
Yeah, exactly. And what's surprising is that the 2 series started at around the same time. As we were getting into game number 1, because it was a little bit of a wait, one of the players had to go to the bathroom. Patience and Ragnarok, they got into game 2. Like game 1 only lasted a couple of minutes.
I don't think I want to know who won that game and how.
Fingers crossed it was Patience. But the thing is, like, Ragnarok as well, he has a massive brain, the biggest brain out of the Zergs in Korea. Oh god, it's gonna be insane.
I agree with that.
Oh god. Oh no.
Speaking of insane, this Oracle is right on a path to get sniped out by these 2 Phoenixes. I was honestly not expecting Haas to go Phoenix first in this game, but I guess he has been learning a little bit from Roddy.
Yeah, exactly. He did go for the Stargate opener. I mean, both players did. But in the end, Haas was able to shut down the Oracle of Cyan, and Cyan just hasn't been able to accomplish anything with this Stargate.
Nothing whatsoever. Only went for the single Oracle, which is pretty surprising. You're going to throw down a Stargate. You'd expect that to be a bit more of an investment, but Cyan wants to transition a lot quicker, even without a Void Ray. He is going straight into his Blink play, which he kind of needs to deal with the Phoenixes.
Yeah, but despite that, the Phoenixes are still dealing a lot of damage. 4 probes already going down, maybe a 5th. Oh!
Definitely a 5th, and not even a single Phoenix has been taken out.
Wow.
In absolute control.
Manages to escape with 11 HP. Jesus Christ. Oh god, that's absolutely disgusting. And Cyan on a bit of a back foot.
Very much on the back foot. He is forced all the way back home. He's taking a little bit of a risk here with this third base, hoping that Haas doesn't see it. But of course, this is Haas we're talking about, and he's got eyes in the sky.
Pearl.
Had to make it rain. Had to make it rain.
Oh, good.
And he sees that third base. Meanwhile, Haas himself not at all going for a third base. Look at how many gateways he's getting right now. Like,
oh my.
He's looking to punish the greed of Cyan.
Exactly. We don't see this too often, but mate, we got plenty of gateways. We got Charge finishing up with +1. This is gonna hit hard. Meanwhile, Cyan, he does have eyes on the potential third of Haas, and you know, maybe some alarm bells will be ringing. Like, hey, hold on, Haas still hasn't even, you know, he hasn't even gone for the third base whatsoever. There's nothing hitting this, and he needs a scout.
And he does confirm that there's the third base being taken, and this should really signal to Cyan, I hardcore need to turtle up at my third base here.
I would hope so. The Hulk does go in. He sees all of the gateways. He sees the army. He should have a decent idea of what is coming his way. And hopefully he doesn't undercommit, right? Hopefully he is able to throw down a couple of shield batteries. But Haas, he clears up that pylon. He could still expand.
He really could. You never really know with Haas nowadays.
Yeah.
He could decide to go for an economic cheese, or he could decide to just go for a timing attack. Might as well attack at this point. His upgrades are almost done.
Yeah, exactly. There's a nice timing, right? +1 and Charge about to finish up. There we go. He is pushing out across the map. He has the War Prism. Meanwhile, at home, okay, the Stalkers, they see the army. How many shield batteries? Maybe we got 1.
None. 1. That's half a shield battery,
half a shield battery. Oh, God.
Cyan is trying to get as much production as he can right now so he can just quickly warp in whatever defenses he needs to, but I'm not convinced he has the resources to do so.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Stalkers, they're out of position. They completely missed the army. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's potential for him to snake around and
War Prism?
take out this War Prism, just like so, takes out the War Prism, and Haas has no staying power here. Wow. It's still a very, very formidable army. One that Cyan needs to absolutely respect, but Haas cannot close out the game just yet anymore.
No, not at all. He does take out the third base, which again, if he wants to, he can go for an expansion, but those Stalkers that we were looking at, they go across the map going for a counterattack.
Wow.
Oh my god.
This is honestly such a move coming out from Cyan. May as well make use of these Stalkers and then recall them when he needs to. Very, very, very good force fields. I don't believe Haas has blinked just yet, so yeah, this main army is completely stuck behind those walls. It's buying Cyan so much time to do as much damage as he can across the map. Now the force fields finally break on through, but here comes the recall.
Here comes the recall.
A couple of shield batteries.
Yeah, exactly. There's still 1 remaining. It looks like all the shield batteries will be cleaned up, but Cyan, he just has to hold. He dealt so much damage across the map, and now Haas is kind of all in, but he's breaking through.
That he is. Remember, this is still a much, much superior army that Cyan has, and in the end, Cyan rather, forced to pull the boys, and that kind of equalized the workers that they had.
Exactly, and Haas has a third behind this. The War Prism has been remade, so Haas can continue to reinforce across the map. He still has 2 Immortals. He's getting 2 more Archons.
And it's not looking likely that Cyan has any recourse available left.
Yeah, he had some really nice moves, but at the end of the day, you know, the force fields were on point. He had 4 shield batteries or even 5 shield batteries here at the natural, but they were just nothing to keep alive at that point. And now Haas is pushing on forward. There are only stalkers here to defend, but oh god, Cyan, can he do it? He's trying to. Oh god.
I highly doubt it. He's out of resources. GG is called. Haas into game number 1, which I feel like we kind of knew that was gonna happen. You know, that was Haas's game right from the start. He shut down the Oracle.
Yeah.
He took out 5 probes of his Phoenixes, but Cyan gave me a glimmer of hope there.
He did. Like, there was some sick moves by Cyan. Like, I was incredibly impressed by his decision making. He was doing what he could with what he had. Even when he was across the map, he even like sniped the Cybernetics core, or sorry, depowered the Cybernetics core, and was like dealing all this damage to the production, but the defense just wasn't there.
Completely impeccable. I feel like one of the main problems that Cyan, or the biggest sort of blunder for Cyan towards the end there, was he kind of popped battery overcharge prematurely.
Yeah.
Battery overcharge has a pretty dang long cooldown, and Cyan just used it before a fight even happened. I mean, battery overcharge was like halfway done by the time Haas decided to just push in.
Exactly. And on top of that, you could argue that maybe Cyan's control slipped up a little bit. Like, he did A move his zealots and they were just kind of like running into a force field wall and just like dying for free, essentially. Instead of playing like one that pops out is Vivid.
The Archons.
If you recall,
instead of like having the Archons to destroy the force fields or something.
Yeah, or just hold position in his natural, right? Yeah. And wait for the force fields to finish up.
Oh well. That is all speculation, but now there's nothing to ever speculate about. There's no need to be confused, because I tell you why, Light. We are on Romanticide, LE, and LE, of course, stands for Lovers.
Egg.
Inquiry. Lovers Enquiry. No, wait, Lovers Advice Enquiry. There we go. And I am, of course, the love nurse. Not quite doctor yet. In the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the red Protoss player coming out from the land of China. He is. We're going to be representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. He is Cyan.
GGG. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue, representing himself and his own nation, Haasian Nation. We have Haas.
Oh boy, what? Huh. I have to wonder now about the day-to-days of Asia.
Exactly. You know what, though? I imagine they have the best cheese in the world. Not gonna lie.
Yeah?
Yeah. It only makes sense, right? Like the biggest importer. That's really like what their economy relies on to sustain themselves.
See, I instead imagine it's like actually a floating or a moving city. That's why he, has to keep the probes around to throw down the city.
What?
I was trying to do a thing where it's like about Cannon Rush, but I didn't think it out. I didn't think it out.
There were dots. You tried to connect them. We're quite able to.
Yeah, I only recently found out that in these dot games it's supposed to like connect in a straight line. So like 1 to 2, it's meant to be like a straight line.
What have you been doing?
It's my own sort of thing.
What?
Whatever I thought was appropriate.
There you go. You know, using that creative freedom, liberty.
Yeah. 3D. Creativeness.
3D clan.
Yeah.
Russia.
Into D clan. Into the 3D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You knew.
Haas, by the way, opening up with a very early Twilight Council. Cyan, meanwhile. Okay, I think that's just a spotter.
Yeah, a pylon does get thrown down. I mean, both players are all, or at least Cyan is all over the place trying to look for any kind of proxy. It looks like Haas is headed straight towards that pylon. Oh, no, never mind. Backs off.
Oh, not quite, yeah. He's checking the other base.
Mm.
A much more common position to be proxying at.
Yeah.
But this is Haas we're talking about. He knows all of the proxies.
Yeah, he checks the common ones even behind the mineral line. Unfortunately, he has missed this pylon. Thankfully, for Haas, you know, as you said, it's a spotter pylon. There's nothing really here.
Except for nope, never mind. I was gonna say, except for a probe coming out from Haas, but once again, just gonna be ignoring that.
For now. Meanwhile, as you were saying, Haas is going for a much faster Twilight Council as well as Blink. Cyan, he does spot the mass amount of Stalkers, and that could be a bit of a tell, as he himself is working on Blink, but a lot slower.
It's a tell, but it's never really a sure. A certainty.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it a sure?
No, it's Cyan. Different color.
There you go. But you know what, Haas, he is coming out here. He is blue. He does have a pylon out on the map. I imagine he's going to be throwing down the gateway so he can reinforce. And what are the defenses looking like? Not even, mate. Doesn't even need it. And at home, there's a shield battery. There is one. There's force field potential.
But as we all are aware, Stalkers do not care about force fields. They will blink right behind. Unfortunately, this Stalkers are Haas right now, getting a little preoccupied. So unable to really target fire like they need to be able to out DPS that shield battery. Cyan, on the other hand, sending down a couple of cyclones? No, adepts, making use of that forward pylon. He's going to be able to kill a lot of workers, I tell you what, but when it comes to killing buildings, Stalkers absolutely have the upper hand.
Yeah.
Haas with the background vision, using Cyan's force field against him. What a reversal. GG.
And I feel like we're seeing a bit of a trend in this series so far with game 1 and game 2. Cyan, he had some beautiful harassment across the map, but it didn't really click in his mind, like, oh my god, like the amount of Stalkers that are out so far by Haas is absolutely insane. I need to take this seriously. He had 2 shield batteries was not enough, mate.
How much you want to wager that he was actually thinking of the multiple possibilities that could have happened? And just got a little overwhelmed. It's Haas. He's a wild card.
Yeah.
He might not be blinking forward.
But he did.
That's the most unexpected thing.
He did, and he takes the game. Now he's up 2-0. Cyan, he's just, oh god, just a little bit unlucky, I guess. Like, again, he wasn't really able to scout the early Twilight Council that was researching. His Haluk was denied. He just didn't have the army. He was working on upgrades, out of all things. Like,
He thought that game was going to go on for longer because it was romanticide. Didn't realize who he was up against. Alright, Haas asking for a quick little break. No doubt to go through the archives, figure out what build he wants to do this time to really get one over on Cyan. We were talking about it. These semifinals might be some of the quickest in ESL Asia history.
Yeah. Oh god, things may be finishing up pretty quickly here. Like, again, we're used to like these 4, maybe even 5-hour broadcasts. I mean, we're 2 hours in and we're like already close to the finals.
Already, yeah. Well, we never really know, right? Cyan, he could pull off the reverse sweep. We could get 3 longer macro. No, actually, that's a little too insane even for me. That's a little too out there even for me to suggest.
The reverse sweep could happen. It could happen, you know. Cyan, he has it in him. He's been looking so good today, but god, just
absolutely. I 100% believe Cyan can pull off the reverse sweep. I don't believe we're gonna get macro games.
Yeah, especially since Romanticide is we're already past it, right? Like, that, if there was a macro game, potentially that would have been it. It would have been on Romanticide, but we're done. We're moving on. We're getting into game number 3, and yeah.
Well, that may be exactly why Haas decides to subvert our expectations.
True. Oh boy, as we are getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of this lower semifinals, and it will be on Lightshade.
the Adept map, as I like to call it. Well, anyway, we are now continuing. Whoa, what is? Do you see that?
I think that was Haas.
Oh, yeah. Somebody pinged something, but I tell you what, it makes sense because we are, after all, on Light Shade. So you know you're getting that pings because it's kind of like a, you know, like a shade of. In the bottom right corner map, swinging all the way in the bottom right corner, the red Protoss player coming down from the land of China once again. He is gonna be representing Good Game Gaming. G. And the amount of G's are the amount of games he has to win in a row to be able to make it to that grand finals. Does he have it in him, Light? We'll find out. He is Cyan.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue. He is representing himself. Hey, this guy's teamless. Someone pick him up. It is Haas.
Just gotta, you know, signal to Sushi or someone. You know.
Yeah.
You already have nice. Might as well monopolize.
I mean, I don't know if they need to when they have someone like Nice. Not gonna be gonna be real here.
I mean, it was a pretty nice investment.
It was. Oh god, but yeah, I mean that could be a part of what's been happening with Haas. You know, we haven't seen him anywhere near as prominently as we would like. He's teamless at the moment. Oh god, hopefully someone does pick him up so he can be a little bit more like reinvigorated and we can see a little bit more of the Haas of old.
Yeah, it would be pretty nice to see that cheese connoisseur. Speaking with Princess about it, but it does feel like Haas is trying to evolve quite a bit. I mean, the event that really sparked that sort of discussion was, of course, IEM, where he had his game against Dream on Romanticide, but it does seem like Haas is trying to break out of his old, what we sort of used to know him for, you know, being very cheesy, being very micro-intensive. He does want to improve on the other aspects of his play, but he's not necessarily finding it yet, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, like, this is something that he started, like, maybe 2 years ago. Like, this is when he started playing more macro-oriented, and he has found some success with it, but just hasn't been as active.
Yeah. And of course, his micro is always something to observe. Nice little pullback there with the Adepts. Gonna be making it out with a slight advantage.
Oh my god. Yeah, wow. Haas with the Adept Shade on point. Yeah, denying Cyan. Oh my god.
Speaking of denying Cyan, Vision is not going to be denied for Cyan.
Not quite.
At least on the side ground location.
Yeah, we'll see what Cyan plans to do with this. It's a little bit odd because he did throw down the pylon, and he didn't keep his probe there, so I doubt he's going to be really utilizing that, I guess, just for Vision, as you were saying. Meanwhile, Haas, this time, going for his robot.
Ooh, and I'm liking what we're getting this time, like, good old-fashioned, old-school Immortal drop.
Yeah, exactly. We have the War Prism on the way. I'm a little bit concerned for Cyan. He does have a decent amount of Adepts going to be going across the map. And he's going to be a bit surprised when he sees, oh my god, there's no natural here. And he just runs into the army of Haas.
Just like so. But Cyan did shoot first, and he has the higher Adept count. That pylon helping him with some reinforcements as well. But Cyan commits to the shade. All right, so he doesn't want to fight here. Sid wants to go directly into the main base. This Sentry, unfortunately, unable to get a force field down, but Cyan does not want to tangle with all of that, not when there are only 5 Adepts here.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting a shade for Haas, but he just wasn't fast enough. Meanwhile, of course, Adepts can shade through force fields. And, oh god, we'll see. I mean, Cyan, he committed a lot to this, and he hasn't really been able to find too much damage. He does spot the Immortal, though, so he should be getting ready at home.
Hopefully. He's getting an Immortal of his own, which,
oh my god.
You know, you want the Titans to be duking it out.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like it's really going to come down more to the Adepts over here.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised that Cyan committed to the Shade. Now the majority of his army is across the map. To be fair, he does have recall available to him, so he can deal whatever damage he can and then come back home and try and hold on.
But he's not quite getting a lot. He's taking out one pylon, and Haas is making it really tough for him. Him using the superior range of the Stalkers to his advantage. This isn't quite a wall! But Haas doesn't want to shade right on top of shield battery. Understandable.
Understandably so. Meanwhile, the War Prism does join up with the main army. He's just continuing to warp in across the map. We do have a couple more shield batteries on the way. Sorry, pylons on the way. Just realized this is not Tracer's pylon.
Exactly. I mean, this is the vast majority of Cyan's production over here. It's these two gates and I believe a single robo back in the main base. Oh, beautiful force fields forcing this Immortal out of shield battery range. And I gotta say, I feel like that's all she wrote.
That could be all she wrote. Like, that was a massive pick off there by Haas, taking out the Immortal of Cyan. Nice force field, but again, Haas, he has War Prism. He doesn't care about the force field.
That he really does not. Battery overcharge not going to be available anymore. The energy on the shield batteries has run out. Haas still wants to be a little bit more careful. He doesn't want to, you know, elevator his adepts and get them picked off one by one. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. He's taken this series 3-0 in about what? 40 minutes?
Exactly. Patience and Ragnarok are still in game number 2. GG gets called and Haas moves on to the grand finals.
That was a fast series.
That's an understatement, mate.
But well played, Haas. I do believe this is his first time in a ESL finals.
I believe so. We can double check. We do have the technology, but yeah.
I think Nice might have been in the finals a couple of times. I always have to remember the sort of Taiwanese and Chinese players who make it to ESL Asia finals. It's a bit of a rare occurrence. Time, I think, has been there a few times.
So I just checked. We have not had a Taiwanese player in the finals before. Time has made it to the finals a decent amount of times, but yeah, Haas, the first player,
once, I believe as well.
The first player from Taiwan.
There we go. How fitting. And here we have it. We also have confirmation on the other semifinals. It's over. We are already in the grand finals, 2.5 hours. Light.
Jesus Christ.
And we're going to be having Ragnarok versus Haas. Let's have a bit of a moment of silence for patience.
Yeah, feels bad, man. I wanted to cast Patience so much today, and he had a decent shot, but unfortunately he was seeded into the same half of the bracket as Ragnarok. They faced off in the semis, and the big brain of Ragnarok was too great for Patience to handle.
Yeah, Patience, he wants to bamboozle. And in order to bamboozle, here's my allegory. When you bamboozle someone, you sort of run around, right? You run around them. Ragnarok's brain is too large. Patience tried to run around that brain. He got tired halfway through.
Oh god, and I feel a little bit robbed because imagine the Patience versus Haas final.
That was the finals.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh god, that would have been absolutely insane. Just a battle of the straight up nonsense in PvP. Ugh.
Yeah. I would agree with you there, but I need to make sure that my walls are, like, you know, padded. Before I cast something like that.
Yeah,
I would have something to sort of even the impact of me slamming my head against a wall.
Oh my god. It would have been amazing. There's a world out there where that is the reality, but this is not that world. We will be having that PvZ finals, the first Zerg player that we'll be casting of the evening. I miss them so much, but here we go.
The curse has been lifted.
It has.